Hello, Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos, and this is Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. That's our standard time. You may also find us at other times with a current show, or maybe even a show that we taped in previous months or previous years, if it's to show something that is timely. If you'd like to go behind the cameras and be part of this, let me know. And if you'd like to be on camera, let me know if you have something you'd like to share with the town. If you'd like to learn how to run the computer or do some editing, all the equipment is here. All you need to do is let us know, and you can come down and play with all the fun games that we have here. Now, today we're going to be talking to Patrick Connolly, and I first saw Patrick at the Georgetown Days. And at the Georgetown Days, there was this train set, and it was running. And I looked and I said, okay, there's a train set at the Georgetown Days. Why would a train set be at the Georgetown Days? And then I found out it's Legos.
Yeah, I wanted to do this because last year I came to Georgetown Days, and there was a lot of room there, so I was like, maybe I could do a layout there. And the next year I did it, and it was awesome. And all year I was working on it, and I changed it probably around 10 times. And I already got next year's layout ready. It's bigger, has 2 trains running, a bigger train, and I'm going to add more, and I already have my list for Christmas for it. And spots.
of what you want?
Yeah.
Your Christmas list. Now, how old are you, Patrick?
13.
You're 13. What grade?
8th.
And you have family here in Georgetown?
Yep.
Your mom and dad?
Mom and dad, yeah. And some brothers. My brother and sister.
Okay, a brother and a sister. I have some information for you. Lego started in 1932 in Billund, Denmark. And in 1934, it adopted the name Lego, which means leg got, which means play well. So that's where Lego came from. And it wasn't until 1949 that the Legos that you work with actually started being made. Yeah. Because that's when they could extrude the plastic and make the shapes and all of that. So the types of Legos that we think about has only been around since 1949. And that's 60 years.
Yep.
How long have you been doing Legos?
Since I was, I think 5 years ago. And well, before that, but then I got distracted with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Ohs, and that was the time it came out. So then I came back with it, and I just don't know how I really started it, but we were cleaning our basement or something, and then we came upon it, and I just started off there. I got my first magazine from Lego November 2005. So, and this is like 5 years ago. 4 years ago, this is when I started, really.
So Lego has a magazine?
Yep.
And it has different things that you can build, or?
Yeah, and it's just an advertisement. I brought a few, but yeah, and I got that there's a ton stuff in there. They have some extra stuff, and then there's different prizes you can win and stuff.
Now, how long do you see yourself working with the Legos?
For my whole life.
Really?
Until I die. And unless I run out of money and Legos and I lose my house and everything, I'm good.
Okay. Now, I've seen sometimes they have these big, huge Lego competitions.
Yes.
Is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, well, there's a show in November. It's called Kid Fest, and it's run by Lego. And it's in Hartford, Connecticut at the Convention Center if you want to go. And it was... I don't think I'm going to be able to go because my grandmother's 70th birthday is that weekend. So
Grandma wins, trust me.
Yeah. But, my grandpa loves trains, and this is more of a Lego show because it's run by Lego. But he might, and there's tons of cousins that like Legos, so we might go and for something for the kids to do. And it's going to be really fun. There was a national show in January, or no, July.
Okay.
And I went, and it was really big, and it was a train show, and it was awesome. I wish I could stay longer, but it was probably around, I think it was 315 feet.
Wow.
Square, yeah.
Now, what is your favorite piece that you've built with Legos?
my U2 concert, which is my newest, and it took me probably around 3 hours, 3 days, maybe 3.5 hours, but I mean, it was really fun. I already, at school, I drew it, and I had all the legs to my planned, and then it just started from there, and it was really fun.
You went to the concert the day of the Georgetown days.
Yes.
Because I remember talking to
Yeah.
you and your mom. And so then you drew it,
Yeah.
and you put it together. Now, this is what the stage looked like at that concert.
Yeah, the only difference is the some stuff, like the shapes and stuff, and the rumming of some stuff, but it was really cool, and this actually comes down if I pull this out, and the stage dropped around them, and it was really cool, and we were so high that we couldn't even see them walking around. It was so low.
Other than a concert, where do you get your other inspirations?
Well, there's a few websites that I go to. One is called, it's kind of like my email that I check every day. The first one is Lego. Then I go to NELOG, New England Lego Users Group, and that's the club in New England that I like following. And then the other one is Brick Shelf, which is a gallery of Legos, and then some other ones which I don't usually check on because it's not improved every day. But Bricklink, which is generally eBay of Legos, and then Huron, which is like a library for links and where to do some stuff and buy it, instructions for it too if you lose the instructions.
Now, sometimes you use instructions and sometimes you just think it up out of your head.
Right, well, if I buy a set, I use instructions, and then probably maybe a week to a month later, well, depending on how much I like it, I take it apart. If it's a train, I probably keep it, but in any other, like, houses I usually keep for my layout, but, like, I used to with my Star Wars stuff, which I don't really buy anymore because I'm more into the creator and trains, but I used to take it apart and then just build something else with it.
Because you can use them, you know, with anything.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing with my collector's items, my gun, my planes, and just whatever else I make.
What do you think they should come out with next?
Well, there's a problem that I found out at the national show because there's a guy there. His name is Jamie. He works for Creator, and his new item is the Emerald Knight, and that came out in the spring, and he was there to advertise it, and I learned a lot, and why Lego isn't doing small sets and a lot of sets on trains or some other stuff is that money and production lines. They need to make a special machine for each piece, which was hard with the new wheel for the train, and it took them a year and a half and 1 year just for the wheels to convince the Senate, I guess, for the Lego to just make that, and it took a long time, and they want to make big sets now because, like, one example is the Santa Fe in 2002 to 2005, I think. They had the engine and then they had the cars. People just bought the engine to show, like my collector's items. They never bought the cars, and more in cars. So they combined it, like the Emerald Knight, with the car and the engine. And so, but the only problem for young kids like me, I want to buy more cars for it. So I have to either get more of the sets or make it with Bricklink, or like because they sell pieces separately, or Lego they have like a pick-a-brick thing. So. If I find
Sounds like a marketing nightmare here. Now, how did you become interested? Was it watching someone else or just?
Well, I really don't know why, but the train part came when I was like when I first spoke, which was later on. It took me a long time to speak, but I still don't stop, and when I started, I went to my grandfather's house, and what happened was he had these model trains. I think it's G gauge, and it's the good size ones, like that you see like around the trees and stuff for Christmas, and I couldn't call him Grandpa or Grampy or anything. So I called him Choo Choo because he had these trains, and I think it was for Christmas, and he ran it around the tree, and I kept on calling him Choo Choo, and I still do today.
As you get older, do your designs become more detailed?
Yes, the only problem is that I've noticed this summer is that I don't have a great imagination as I used to. I used to make things without a picture, like Star Wars when I was mainly into that. I just put a brick there, brick there, brick there. Now I need a picture to base it on, and I can't make anything random. I have to make something based on something that's already being created.
But they're more detailed.
Right, yeah, like
So,
this train.
Right, that's understandable that you can't just build it
Right.
without drawing something first, the way you do with a house. What traits have you been able to build on using Legos? What has it done for you as a kid?
Well, it's like build some like creativity and like how to fix things and move things around to make it work and organize. And it's been really fun. But and the kids at school always pick on me. But I mean, wait till I'm older. I'm gonna be a millionaire selling Legos for Lego. Or if I don't sell for Lego, I will do something.
This has got to be great for your eye-hand coordination.
Yeah.
Because everything is putting things together.
Yep.
Whether they're big pieces. What's the biggest size piece that Legos makes?
Well,
I mean, how big is it?
Well, there's like windows and stuff that are like this tall actually, and there's some other stuff, but like just for special pieces that they're bigger. But I mean, generally like it's only brick by brick, like the small size ones.
And they go all the way down to just the tiniest one little.
Yeah, one stud.
One stud.
They have platforms which is for 16 stud by I think 6 stud, and then they have 14 also, and then they keep on going down by evens. The only odd one is 1 and 3. I wish they have 5 because sometimes you want to make it wider and you can't with stuff, but maybe I'll invent that.
Okay.
So
that's waiting for you then. What advice would you give someone that's starting to work with Legos more than just playing?
Right.
To build things?
Well, I mean, go to the websites that I spoke about and just see what your favorite thing to do. If your parents do something that you really like. If you're a boy, your dad, like he might be a farmer or a landscaper, which my dad is, and I make a lot of landscaping things. Anything from building and anything.
How big is your collection at home? Do you have it like all set up at once, or is it in boxes?
Well, I mean, I got like trays, probably like a yard by a foot long, and I just have random pieces in there, and then I have all my sets for layouts, and I can make more, and it just. I have probably probably 5 by 4 layout right now, and it will be bigger. And if I take time and organize it, or make older sets from Star Wars, which I probably can if I take the time, but that's a lot of patience, and I really already do have a lot of patience for this. But it's still a lot, and it's nagging, and it's just really boring, kind of.
So it's more fun to make something new and a new kit.
Yeah.
Is there something out there for the moms and dads of kids that like Legos?
Well, the moms and dads, like it's at the age that you have to build your own sets, but like because you're probably in a club, but if you're not, and like your son just started and you liked it, there's these from Creator, these sets, they came out in the spring with a Ferris wheel, and that's from Creator, and they just make some big buildings from like for the city. Yeah, so they make big ones.
So that's something that the parents can get into if they want to join the kids.
Right.
Now, how many hours a week do you spend doing Legos?
Well, it's all up to school and other activities, but probably at an hour a day unless I'm busy that day. I will fit in at least half an hour, maybe even just going down there, looking at it, rearranging something, running the train around the loop just once or twice just to get my feel in.
In school vacation, you do a lot more?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm more outside, but I just build stuff whenever I can and rearrange it. And before Georgetown days now, I really get into it. So.
And you're already planning for next year?
Right. I'm already done. I just need more platforms and houses.
So there's your Christmas list.
Right.
Well, you've done a great job. It has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
And it's amazing what you can do with Legos. And find time to play with the kids and play with the Legos.
Yeah.
I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us today, and bye for now.